Hello.
Hello friends, and welcome to today's video lesson. Our topic for today is expository writing, or you could say expository essay. So let's dig in. In today's lesson, I'm going to be telling you what expository writing is and the different parts of an expository writing, the introduction, the explanation, and the concluding parts of an expository writing. So let's start with what an expository writing is. An expository writing is a writing that explains. So every time you're writing to explain something, what you're doing is an expository writing. It's a writing that is commonly found in newspapers and textbooks, okay? So it's a writing that explains. You could be explaining how something is done, or how something works, or why something is the way it is. For instance, you could be asked to do an expository writing on why parents are sometimes strict. You'll find out that while writing, you will be explaining daddy's actions, mommy's actions when the children behave in a certain way. That type of writing is an expository writing. You could also be asked to do a writing on computers and their benefits. You'll find out that in the course of your writing, you will be doing a lot of explanation, trying to explain why computers are beneficial to us. That is another example of an expository writing. So expository writing is a writing that explains. That being said, let's go to the different parts of an expository writing, the introduction or the introductory parts. Now, if you look at this clip, you will see a fisherman who has a fishing line. He puts a worm on his fishing hook, dips it in the river, and a fish swims to eat the worm and is hooked. That is what you're supposed to do to your readers. In your introductory part, your first paragraph, which is your introduction, where you introduce your topic, you are expected to hook the attention of your readers. And how do you do this? By using surprising facts or by asking a question. So let's assume we want to work on the topic computers. In this writing, we will be defining computers to our readers. We will also tell them the different kinds of computers, the different parts of a computer, the uses of a computer. We could go further to tell them why we think computers are cool while concluding, okay? Now, you are to start your essay with an introduction. And like I said earlier, you could start with a surprising fact. You could start by asking a question, or you could use the boat. So we are going to be using the boat in this essay. We could start by saying, just as children follow the instructions of adults, do you know that computers work by following instructions? Now, I am asking a question. Do you know? I'm asking a question. And I'm also stating the surprising fact that computers work by following instructions. One would think, really? Computers follow instructions? Whose instructions? Mommy's instructions? Daddy's instructions? So you could start your essay by stating a surprising fact and asking a question at the same time. Let's continue. When we type letters or numbers on the keyboard, we send commands to the computer, allowing us to create documents, perform any tasks we want to. Okay. So I stated a surprising fact, and I even went further to talk a little about my surprising fact. Now remember, we are talking about computers as our topic, or we are writing about computers. Now, in the course of your writing, you're going to be defining computers, telling your readers the kinds, the types, and the uses of computers. Now, you could add it to your introduction so that you could prepare your reader's heart as to what to expect while they are reading your essay. So you can continue by saying, in this essay, you will learn what computers are, the different kinds and parts of computers, and also the uses of computers. This is good to go. as an introduction. So start your introduction by stating a surprising fact, or by asking a question, or by doing the both. Explain a little more. Tell the readers what to expect as they keep reading, and your introduction is good to go. That being said, we'll go to the second part of an expository writing, which is the explanation part. The explanation is the body of your essay. This is where you explain your topic in details. It could have more than one paragraph. Remember, the explanation is the body of your essay. The introduction is more like the head of the essay, while the explanation is the body of the essay. So you explain further. Let's continue with our essay writing. We've introduced it. For our explanation, let's not forget that we said we were going to be defining computers, stating the kinds, the types, and the uses of computers. So you could start your second paragraph by saying, a computer is a smart machine that helps us do many things like send emails, calculate math problems, record voice notes, watch videos, play games, create presentations, and so on. Now, in this paragraph alone, you've been able to define computers and also state some of the uses of computers. So let's continue with a new paragraph. Monitors, keyboards, mouse, and power cords are some parts of a computer. Lots of things we call by other names are computers. For example, mobile phones, laptops, calculators, game console, desktop, smart speakers, etc. Now, in our third paragraph, we talked about the kinds and the parts of a computer. This could make up for the body of your essay writing, or the body of your expository writing. Now, the last part of your essay writing is your conclusion. Now, what is conclusion? Conclusion is the last part of your essay. Here you share your final thoughts. We could say conclusion is the leg, or is the feet of your essay. It is the part that helps your essay stand completely. So you have the head, which is the introductory, the body, which is the explanation, and the feet, which is your conclusion. So let's continue our essay writing on computers. We could conclude by saying, can you imagine, this is my final and concluding thought on the topic computers. And I continued by saying, can you imagine a world without computers? Life will really be difficult in a lot of ways without them, because we will have to write all our mails by hand, play with stones and sand, and even produce a lot of things manually, since there will be no machines or computers to help. So in your conclusion part, just tell us what you think about the topic, your final thoughts about the topic. Do you think computers are cool, or they're not really cool? That you state all that at the concluding part of your essay. So to recap on what we have learned today, I explained what expository writing is and the different parts of an expository writing. I talked about the introduction, how you're to hook your reader's attention, and the body, how you're to explain your topic in details, and the concluding part, where you're to tell us your final thought about the topic. That being said, let us try out this activity. Okay, so these were my different paragraphs in this video lesson. I just want you to build on it. Continue your building from the second paragraph. So in this paragraph, I defined computers and also stated some of the uses of computers. You tell us more about computers, define it in your own way, also state more uses. Okay, in the third paragraph, I stated the parts of a computer. I want you to build on it. Tell us more parts of a computer. I also went ahead to talk about the different kinds of a computer. Build on it. Tell us more examples of computers, more things that are computers, but we don't really call them computers. You could even go further by telling us why they are computer. Why is a mobile phone a computer? Why is a laptop a computer? Just build on that paragraph. And in my concluding part, I expressed my final thoughts about computers. You could go ahead by telling us why you think computers are cool, or why they are not that cool, or why they are disadvantageous. So feel free, build on this essay, and see you in my next class. Bye-bye.